I'm going to start by saying this isn't a hype-driven unboxing. I know a lot of people feel a little nervous when they're looking at a wide-format duplex scanner because the price tag can be steep and the specs can sound like they belong on a server rack rather than a desktop. You've probably asked yourself if you really need that extra width, whether the duplex feature will actually speed up your workflow, and if the investment will really pay off in reduced labor or fewer paper jams. The goal of this video is to walk through the real-world considerations so you can decide if the RICOH Phi 7460 is a good fit for you, or if you'd be better off with something smaller or cheaper. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the kind of environment where a scanner like this makes sense. The Phi 7460 is built for offices that regularly handle large documents. Think architectural blueprints, engineering schematics, legal contracts that span legal-size paper, or even marketing mock-ups that run 1,117 inches. If your day-to-day includes scanning anything beyond the standard letter or A4 size, the wider feed channel is the first thing you'll notice. It can pull in odd-shaped or folded sheets without having to manually feed each piece, which is a huge time saver. For a small design firm I spoke with, the scanner cut their scanning time in half because previously they had to use a standard scanner and then manually stitch together the larger images in software. Now, the duplex capability isn't just a nice-to-have, it directly impacts labor costs. In a typical office, a single-sided scan of a multi-page document means you have to run the stack twice or manually flip each sheet. With the Phi 7460's automatic duplex feed, you can scan double-sided pages in one pass. I ran a quick mental model. A 200-page contract with half of its pages on the backside would normally require 100 separate scans. By using the duplex feature, that number drops to 50 scans, which translates to roughly a 30-minute reduction in operator time for a single document. Over the course of a month, that's a noticeable productivity boost, especially for teams that handle high volumes of paperwork. Paper handling is where RICOH really tries to differentiate itself. The product literature claims superior paper handling technologies reduce jams. In practice, that means the feeder has a series of rollers and sensors that adjust grip pressure based on paper thickness. I've heard from a few office managers that this reduces the typical jam rate from what they estimate at 510% on generic scanners down to almost zero on the Phi 7460. Fewer jams mean less downtime and less frustration for staff, which is a subtle but real cost saving. If your workflow is already bottlenecked by frequent feeder errors, this could be the part of the scanner that actually frees up your people to focus on higher value tasks. On the software side, RICOH bundles PaperStream ClickScan, a simple UI that lets you set up profiles for common tasks like scanning to PDF, JPEG, or sending directly to cloud storage. The interface is clean, and it integrates with standard Twain and ISIS drivers, meaning you can plug it into most enterprise content management (ECM) solutions. For anyone who's already using Kofax, SharePoint, or a custom document repository, the fact that the Phi 7460 offers out-of-the-box compatibility saves a lot of configuration time. In the field, a legal office I consulted for set up an automatic routing rule that sent scanned contracts directly into their case management system, eliminating manual file handling entirely. That said, the Phi 7460 isn't a perfect match for every office. If you're a solo freelancer or a small business that mostly scans standard size, single-sided documents, you'll likely pay for features you'll never use. The scanner's footprint is larger than a typical desktop unit, so you'll need a dedicated space, usually a desk or a small table. In compact workspaces, this could become a logistical challenge. Moreover, the price point sits well above the entry-level duplex scanners that handle up to 8.5 11-inch media. If you're not regularly dealing with legal size or larger formats, a less expensive model may give you essentially the same performance without the overhead. Another practical consideration is the ongoing maintenance. While the feed mechanism is designed to minimize jams, the rollers and sensors do wear over time. RICOH offers service contracts, but if you're the type who prefers a set-it-and-forget-it approach, you'll want to factor in the potential cost of a service plan or the occasional replacement part. In environments where paper quality varies, say, mixed glossy and matte stocks, the scanner can still be reliable, but you may notice a slight dip in speed when the feed has to adjust to different thicknesses. That isn't a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind if you expect to scan a lot of mixed media in rapid succession. So, who should buy the RICOH 7460? If you're running an architecture studio, an engineering department, a legal firm dealing with large contracts, or any organization that needs to process high volumes of wide format or double-sided